today on Cast Madison. We continue our guide to summer entertainment, this time with the Sessions at McPike Park, a free outdoor music festival kicking off this Friday through Sunday, June 16th to the 18th. The Sessions are known for bringing top performers from around the world to Madison, and there's a jam-packed lineup this year. Dylan Brogan got the details from veteran Madison Festival organizer, Bob Queen. It's Tuesday, June 13th. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about.
Bob Queen, the king of Madison music festivals. Tell us what makes for a perfect summer concert.
Weather, location, and great music, of course, but a nice receptive audience. Was that a one-word answer?
Well, that's good. Well, two of those you have a lot of control over, and I think are doing okay. The weather, that you just got to hope for.
There are things that are happening in the world that are way beyond our control. So, all right, let's talk about music and things like that.
Yeah, so we have the Pursuit of Happiness sessions at McPike Park. They're kicking off with 3 days of shows in June. So you have two stages, the main stage and the Chicory stage, which you tell me is a little bit more intimate and it's under a tent. So why is it called the Chicory stage?
We were having trouble placing this, the Pursuit of Happiness. We thought the political people, the powers that be, wouldn't attack happiness, but I was wrong. We were sort of coming up through the cracks, like the chicory plant, the beautiful blue chicory plant that they find the roots and making the coffee some places.
Well, you got more than 20 artists playing over 3 days in June, and it's all day long. So let's start with just the headliners on Friday night. Tell us who's playing on the main stage.
On the main stage, we have the People Brothers Band, and they're good friends of ours, and that's terrific to start off with them, and they guarantee a nice audience. And the final, the main stage band, this is a 5 to 10 evening on the Friday. And the third band is Aaron Lee Tozjan from Nashville. And he's amazing. We had him last year, and he's so quirky and so oddball, funny and talented. And he's, if you can think of Arlo Guthrie doing alt country. So we invited him back with his band, and so they'll be, they're perfect last year, and the people know him well now. And I think he'll be great.
So, Bob, we want to give people a taste of these artists that will be at the sessions. So let's hear a clip from Aaron Lee Tozjan, and we'll put song titles and links in the show notes for all the music we'll hear during this interview.
Her soaking leather jacket was heavy as the pain in the Memphis rain. In the Memphis rain. Diamond drops are sparkling on the zipper and chain in the Memphis rain.
Would you say there's a general theme to the musical acts? Is that by day, or is there a theme?
The theme is multi-genre. Does that help you? But no, on Saturday, that's as thematic as we get. Every day has a group, a nonprofit group that is a beneficiary of our event, and they partner with us and they help us set up, and we help them. They have their own tents, and they get up on stage and tout their programs, and it's a really nice and unique relationship. But the first night we have this Community Immigration Law Center, and they keep people from falling prey to ICE and all sorts of immigration problems, people being separated from their families. So the thematic that we're going after, Centro Hispano is our beneficiary on Saturday, June 17th, and we have a full day on the main stage of Latin music from all over the Latin world, and we have a great featured artist that I have some history with. So a band that or an artist that you have a relationship with, you always look for an opportunity to get them back on your stage. And this one took 20 years. If you can imagine that. And I was a young man when we first met.
Well, who are we talking about? Is this Xiomara?
Xiomara Lugard. And she came to town with a band that was so cutting edge, I had to ask my friend from Jamaica, is that legal? And so she's coming, and she's bringing her son as the hottest Latin pianist in the world.
Let's hear a little something from Xiomara Logart.
Maní, dame de tu maní, que esta noche no voy a poder dormir sin comerme un cucurucho de maní. Maní, maní, dame de tu maní, que esta noche no voy a poder dormir sin comerme un cucurucho de maní.
Tell us about Valerie Green, because she's going to be doing some dance performances that are participatory, right, during the Saturday.
We have 3 artists in residence for the course of the whole sessions, and she's the first one, and she represents our dance component. She is from Queens. She's doing some workshops that are therapeutic for people who have had post-traumatic stress syndrome, and so that this is something that's beyond entertainment. These are things that are, that'll help people, and that's the kind of artist in residence we like to have. She's reprising something that she's done in Central Park, and it's called Splash. So there's water involved. So dress appropriately.
All right. Well, that'll be interesting. So be prepared for Splash. We don't quite know
but
what.
Kids, if you have kids, she's bringing after the more experienced dancers have done their part of the show, she's going to recruit in the audience and train young dancers in 5 minutes to participate in this Splash.
Saturday, we got a whole day of Latin music.
The Chicory stage we haven't fully introduced. So we have an alternative stage that's non-Latin. And we've got Mark Croft and John Vriesacker, the Sam Ness Trio, Joel Patterson Quartet from Chicago, and everybody loves doing 2 sets, and Country Western, Poopy Costello and the New Hiram Kings from Milwaukee. So those are very popular bands in the Chicory tent.
So Sunday, Bob, let's get on to Sunday. Our time is short. Who's the featured artist on Sunday night? And we'll link to the full lineup, because there are a lot of great artists, and I wish we had time to preview all of them. But I want to hear about this big closing act on Sunday night on the main stage.
Yeah, Isaiah Collier is the chosen few, are hotshots from Chicago, and my star artist rep from with jazz is Maurice Montoya. And this is his star up and coming, and he's compared to every great sax player that ever existed. And it's the music is just incredible, and he has a great pianist, and so it's a quartet. And I don't know how to describe it, because it's incredible, and everybody will like it. And it's challenging to put jazz in a featured spot. But on Sunday, it's a good thing. I think we're all sick of dancing, and I think people are going to be amazed about the virtuosity that you'll be seeing on that day on the main stage.
Yeah, and let's listen to a song called June 11th, and this is Isaiah Collier. Well, we got another one that's hard to describe. So we have on the Chicory stage, so that's happening separately too. They're a really interesting act, something a little bit different for the session. So tell me about is it the Oshima Brothers?
They're a kind of group that we don't usually have. And in the Chicory stage, they're going to be stars. because everybody loves them. Their music is described as ethereal. They have loops, they're virtuosos, and they're brothers. They dance, and they're great entertainers, and they're from Portland, Maine. I just think that this will be perfect just to evoke different emotions from you musically. So, a lot of people are saying that was great. And even Sister Strings, our good friend Sister Strings, that are, off the charts now as popularity, they were going to a party after the Grammys, and the Oshima brothers were the performers, and they couldn't wait to get there. I just think it'll be good for us. It'll be good for our souls. Be ready for that, because I think you'll be blown away.
Here is the Oshima brothers.
We were drinking in the cabin, middle of the summer, and you told me we'd be friends forevermore. We were running through the wildwood, and oh, how I remember all the times you laugh and finish my sentences. We stayed up till the morning light, talking about the girls we like. You and me foolishly wanna be getting old. When we stayed up till the morning light, talking about the girls.
How would you describe these 3 days in June, if you had to sum it up, the sessions?
The pursuit of happiness is just what it is. It's our inalienable right to be happy on any one day without anybody fucking around. Screwing around with us.
You can swear on the podcast.
All right, great.
Okay, I like it. We're pursuing happiness here. So 3 days, 2 stages. Okay. You mentioned that there's different nonprofits that are being supported. So we have the Community Immigration Law Center on Friday, and then can you tell us about the other days in June and what nonprofit is being supported?
Centro Hispano is the Latin Day, and they've worked with us since the beginning, so that's great. On Sunday we're partnering with the Urban League. Once we get a nonprofit, they like to stay because it's great to get as many people who help support your program into the park.
This is the 10th year of the sessions.
Yes.
Hard to believe it's been 10 years already. That's great. What's your favorite part about helping organize these big community music festivals?
I think it's great. I think we've got great people involved, talented sound people, like Lonia and Telesound, and we have great tents and great... it's just nice when everything comes together and you get it ready, and then you can actually enjoy the event yourself.
You always do a great job of bringing in some very interesting acts, as well as a lot of local acts, too.
Oh, sure. There's 32 local acts.
Thank you so much for always doing so much to make that happen.
Well, thank you for help making it a success.
That was Bob Queen, creator of the sessions at McPike Park with CityCast producer Dylan Brogan. See our show notes for the full lineup of artists and links to the songs we heard during this episode. Also in our show notes is a link to the Best of Madison Awards. CityCast is up for Best Local Podcast. So if we've earned your vote, we'd love to have it. And here's what else Madison's talking about. More celebrations. Next Monday is Juneteenth. On Saturday, June 17th, is Juneteenth in the park. That starts with a parade at 10 a.m. at Fountain of Life Church, followed by a celebration at Penn Park. There'll be vendors, exhibits, kids' activities, speakers, and entertainment, and everyone's invited. The Madison Jazz Fest is ongoing this week. And, by the way, you can catch me emceeing the Jazz Fest on Saturday at the Union. That'll include a special conversation I'm hosting with one of the headliners, saxophonist Lakeisha Benjamin. Pretty stoked. And on Sunday, June 18th, the Jazz Fest will close out at the Union Terrace with the Juneteenth celebration of Black American music, hosted by MC Rob Dees. We'll toss links to these events in our show notes. That's all for today, here on CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin. If you enjoyed the show, why not share this podcast with a friend who had Milton McPike as their principal at East High School? We'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Until then, space is the place.